Yes, it was a very long preamble talking about everything from football teams that Sir Keir Starmer supports to his family background. We were just starting to get on to what some might describe as a little bit of substance, that the Labour Party wants to put economic growth at the core of their next manifesto, that the first line of their next manifesto will be about wealth creation, something that we haven't heard the Labour Party talk about for quite some time, to be fair. But I'm not sure we're hearing that many specifics. It seems like this big speech from Sir Keir Starmer today is something designed to say, hello, look at me, I'm leading the Labour Party and I'm still here. This is a Labour Party that is being squeezed out of the media at the moment by the vast array of Conservative candidates. And I suppose for Sir Keir Starmer, his big task is to remain relevant throughout all of this. Although that does run up against the old political adage that when your opponents are tearing chunks out of each other, perhaps the best thing is to sit down, sit back and let them get on with it. Sir Keir Starmer obviously treading a tightrope there, and of course his strategy up until now has not been to declare too much policy, to keep his cards close to his chest. It was only a week or so ago that he announced that he had a completely blank slate of policy, in his words. He wiped the slate clean from the last Labour manifesto, and that we won't be hearing much policy from him until right before the next election. I suppose it runs up to that old adage that oppositions don't win elections, governments lose them. But clearly the battleground now, what everyone is talking about, as we were discussing earlier about the Conservative leadership race, everyone's talking about the economy, and that includes now the Labour Party too. It seems the entire political playing field, if you like, is all on the issue of how do you get economic growth, which is something that frankly hasn't been part of our national conversation for quite some time. So I suppose in that sense it's welcome. But really looking into the detail of what Sir Keir Starmer says, it seems to be broad brushstrokes rather than specific policy. No doubt that's something he will need to be challenged on.